Today we want to talk about restaurants, basic terms when you go to a restaurant to make yourself more comfortable with looking at the menu and ordering food when you get to the restaurant. So here's a basic list of vocabulary that you will find very, very useful. Appetizer. Appetizer. This is the first thing you have. Usually an appetizer can be something very light, very simple, but please don't confuse appetizer with aperitif. Looks almost the same. An aperitif is a drink, an alcoholic drink that you have before your meal is an aperitif. So if you don't plan on drinking alcohol, don't order an aperitif. There are different places you can sit and different kinds of style of seating in different restaurants. One is a booth. So a booth usually has a high back and very padded, and you can be very comfortable, and you have a lot of privacy if you have a booth. Now, if you really want to eat a lot, as we say in English, you want to pig out, go to a restaurant that has a buffet. A buffet. A buffet means you can eat as much as you like of anything you like. There's a salad bar, usually a dessert bar, and many, many different kinds of entrees, hot dishes that you can choose from. One very popular thing that's been happening in the last few years is something called the semi-buffet. The semi-buffet means that you get salad bar, dessert bar, and you get a choice of one dish. So you can order something like steak and chips, and you'll get a salad bar, coffee, and dessert bar. So that's called a semi-buffet. Also, like the aperitif, many people who drink alcohol, you can have a cocktail. Or if you don't like alcohol, you can order a mocktail. A fake cocktail is a mocktail. The different dishes that you have are different courses, a course during the meal. One of the favorite courses people have is the dessert, which you usually have at the end along with your coffee and tea. So this is your sweet thing, like a cake or a pudding. These are desserts. If you really like to eat good food, you will be called a gourmet. Now, a gourmet should not be confused with a gourmand. A gourmand is a person who likes to eat a lot. A gourmet, on the other hand, likes to eat food that is very, very high quality. Gratuity. Gratuity means tip, what you leave for the service that you got from the restaurant. Usually you use 15% or 20% as a tip. You leave this on the plate that you are given to pay your bill, and that's for the waiters and the wait staff to share. After your appetizer, the first course or the entree is called the main course. So this comes after your soup, your salad, then comes your main course. When you're ordering, you order from a menu. Now there's two ways you can order. One is to order the house special. So if they have a set meal, you can order the set meal. And usually the set meal is at a special price, or you can ask for the menu a la carte. A la carte comes from the French. A la carte means from the menu. So you're ordering one thing at a time, everything is separate. Napkin. Napkin is something we will teach you later in a session about dining etiquette. Napkin. Order is what you do from the menu. You do this with the waiter or waitress, and sometimes before you order, it's a good idea to ask for recommendations from the waiter or waitress. A refill. So if you're having tea or coffee, you can ask for, "Can I have a refill for this, please?" And you point to your cup. Salad bar, something you have before your meal. Usually this is an open tray, different kinds of vegetables and sauces that you can put onto your plate, and then enjoy that before your main course comes. And tip, again, is like a gratuity, just a common expression, money that you leave for the wait staff. Now, there are different kinds of restaurants that you can go to. There's the restaurant, there's fast food, there's the cafe, which is very simple and informal, usually sandwiches and pastry and dessert, maybe some light salads. If you're in America, you might like to go to a deli or delicatessen. Delicatessen usually, again, has sandwiches, soups, maybe pies, desserts. If you're feeling adventurous, you can go to a diner. Usually a diner is a very simple restaurant. In the old days, a diner was like on an old train car. They would take a train car and redecorate the inside, or they would take a dining car from a train and then just put it in the middle of nowhere in the city, and it would be a diner. And usually it was a one-person or two-person operation. So the person who was cooking would also take your order from the counter, would also take your money, and would also serve you the food. So diner is a very simple way to eat. Pizzeria, where you get pizza. And finally, a snack bar, where you just drop in and have a snack, something very light, something very simple. And there's different ways we can use to describe food at a restaurant. We can ask for vegetarian. Vegetarian is a person who only eats vegetarian. Now, there's different kinds of vegetarian. Some people eat vegetarian and they eat no dairy. Some people eat dairy, some people without eggs. So there's different terms for that. And there's a new one, and this is a nice word you should know. It's flexitarian. Flexitarian is a person who's generally vegetarian, but if he goes to a home and he doesn't want to make a fuss, he will have the meat that's already cooked and will not make any fuss or complaint about it. There's different ways to describe a steak. When you order a steak, you say rare, medium, or well done. And if it's overdone, if you ask for a medium and it's well done, you can say to the waitstaff, "Excuse me, my steak is overdone. I asked for medium and it's well done." Other ways you can describe food is spicy, like curry. Another one is salty, or another term is savory. Salty and savory have the same meaning. Food can be spicy, food can be sour, food can be cooked in different ways. It can be boiled, it can be broiled, it can be baked. And if you really want to sound fancy, a French form of cooking is sautéed. Sautéed, usually in butter. So the potatoes are sautéed in butter. And one thing you can ask for when you go to a restaurant, you can ask, what is the house special? Or what is the house specialty? So those are very useful terms when you're ordering food in a restaurant. Finally, here are some idioms you can use when you're talking about restaurants and eating out. Wine and dine. So he took Carol to the restaurant and wined and dined her. In other words, he wanted to make a good impression. So maybe he's going on a first date and he takes a girl out, he's wining and dining her. Now, after the meal, if you have food that's left over and you want to take it home, you can ask for a doggy bag. A doggy bag. If you're sharing a meal or you're sharing the bill at a restaurant, we say that's going Dutch or a Dutch treat. When you're ready to pay the bill, you can say things like, I am going to pick up the check. Pick up the check. Or pick up the tab. Let me pick up the tab. Somewhat like wining and dining, you go out for a night on the town. Means you're really going to go out. You're going to go out and maybe have some drinks at one place, and then you're going to go to a restaurant and have a fine meal, and then you're going to go see a movie or see a theater performance. That's going for a night on the town. Now, if you're a gourmand, like we said before, you like to eat a lot, and you really want to pig out, then you go for the buffet. Seafood buffet, Thai buffet, Indian buffet, steak buffet, whatever. Buffet is the big way to pig out. Sometimes though, when you're really not hungry, you go to somewhere like a buffet and you eat very, very little, and everyone's going to say, wow, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. So it means you didn't really eat what you should eat, because they know how you eat. You usually eat a lot, and you kind of eat a little bit. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach. On the other hand, if you really eat a lot, they will say, wow, you can eat like a horse. Eat like a horse. And when you're in a hurry, you're just going out to lunch and you're going to come right back, someone will say, so where are you going? I'm just going to grab a quick bite. So you're just going to get something very fast and come back to the office. You're going to grab a bite. Finally, if you're in a hurry again and you're eating, and then people see you wolfing down the food, and then you have a cup of coffee and you're really in a hurry, you just say, I'm just going to wash this down, and you drink the coffee and you're washing the food down, going to wash the meal down. So those are expressions that we use commonly when we're going to a restaurant. Enjoy.